What's the difference between a coach that is struggling to make ends meet and a coach that earns $10,000 a month? This is the same question that, like you, I asked myself when I started my coaching practice. Like most new coaches, I struggled. I struggled to find new leads. I struggled to convert these leads into customers and clients. I struggled to figure out how do I put myself into a pricing structure that makes perfect sense for me to be able to generate at least $10,000 a month. $10,000 a month at that time for me was a place of comfort. It was a place where I would feel safe. This was something for real. This was something that I could pursue. I just wanted to make $10,000 a month. And I wanted to see if I could put that on a rhythm where I would be able to continuously make $10,000 a month. I would have really good months and really bad months. I would have feast months where I would be like, yay, I'm on the right track. This is going to be my career. And then I was at a place where I was like, will I be able to pay rent? Will I be able to actually afford this career? Is this career real? Is this career going to be something? One of the things that I've learned in my life is that when you don't have the answer, you seek guidance. You ask as many people, as diverse set of people as possible, and try to learn as much as possible because something, a moment of insight, will come through and you'll find what actually works. So I didn't have any mentors or people around me that could really help me with coaching specifically. So I did the next best thing. I took out my credit card and I went on a buying spree. No, I'm not buying clothes and cars. I was buying courses and programs and group coaching programs. And I went on the spending spree so I can find the best education that I could dive deep into. So I committed to about 10 different courses that I would take over 30 days. This meant I was studying for 8 to 10 hours every single day. I wasn't doing a Netflix binge, I was doing a learning binge. I was immersing myself into different programs taught by different people so I could learn from as many diverse experiences and then go, what is it that really works for me? And as I was wrapping these 10 programs, I recognized that there were certain patterns, there were certain principles, there were certain ideologies that were true to all of the programs. And that seemed like those would be the principles that will help somebody make $10,000 every single month. So I took these principles and decided to test them out in my practice. And the first month was kind of all right. I didn't really nail it perfectly. But by month 3, I realized that I was making an average of $3,000 a month. And then I tested those principles further and I kept testing them. And in 3 months, I found myself at an average of $7,000 a month. That's the amount of contracts I had signed. And soon enough, in about month 9 or 10, I found myself to be at an average of $10,000 a month. Now, these same principles eventually helped me make a lot more than $10,000 a month, but I want to share these principles with you so you can also go ahead and try these principles in your coaching practice and in a few months, hopefully see the same rise that I was able to see in my income. The first principle is charge for results. When we start coaching, when we are new in our careers, we tend to charge based on the amount of time we'll be spending with a client. You're trading time for money. You might say, my fee is $100 an hour, and so if we spend 6 hours together, my fee becomes $600. But what if we change the narrative? Instead of charging money for time, you start to charging money for results. You see, when somebody gets a result from a coaching conversation, a coaching transaction, the result is manyfold in context of the life that they are currently at. If you're a business coach, your coaching may add hundreds of thousands of dollars to a client's life. If you're a life coach, it may completely save their relationship. If you're a health coach, you may transform their life like they have never experienced before. Now, when you charge for something that is that extraordinary versus for your time with them, there are 2 things that happen. Firstly, what you get to charge is a lot more. And secondly, what the client gets to experience is a lot more. They don't see that I'm spending an hour with my coach. They relate their results to their coach. And when they relate their results to their coach, they want to keep getting those results. This keeps your client really interested in having those coaching conversations they're having with you because they're continuing to see those results. The second big principle is only sell packages. One of the classic mistakes most coaches make is they sell their coaching by the hour. This usually happens if you are a coach on a platform. You'll tend to say, hey, you can book me for an hour and my fee will be X $100. And while that may seem like a good way to get started, that is not really a good way if you want to generate a decent income in your coaching career. Transformations don't really happen overnight. It takes time, effort, energy, and repeated conversations for somebody to experience their breakthrough. The first coaching session might not do it, the second might not do it, the 10th might. And so when you're engaging with a client, You want to always engage where you have the greatest opportunity of creating a change in your client's life, so you're not limited and bound to the anxiety of creating results in the first session so your client re-enrolls with you. Instead, you want to be able to engage with them on a longer term so you can truly be a part of the change that they want to have in their lives. The third principle is see every no as a step towards yes. Most of us, when we get a rejection, when we get no, we think it's the end of the world. It happens when you make an offer to a client and they say, no, not yet, or no, I don't think I'm interested in this. We feel like it's a personal rejection. We feel that people have said no to us, that our value or our services value is not big enough, is why we got a no. But no truly is just a journey to get to a yes. A great reframe that I heard that really helped me was, what if you were 100 no's away from $1 million? Would you be excited to get a no, or would you be concerned about a no? It changed my perspective completely. I started to wonder, what if I was 100 no's away from $1 million? And if my goal was $1 million, well, I want to collect as many no's as possible as quickly because I am just 100 no's away. That one shift allowed me to be a lot more present to the conversation because I wasn't scared if the client was going to say no or yes to our conversation. I was more excited to just have the conversation and be indifferent when somebody said a no or a yes. Because if I was getting a no, I was getting closer to my million. If I was getting a yes, I was still getting closer to my million. So my curiosity peaked for my client irrespective of the result. I could be present to the conversation, which allowed me to create great results for them and also be able to very easily, non-desperately make an offer that created so much ease between our relationships that I started to get a lot more yeses. The fourth principle is different is better than better. When you make an offer that's a little bit better as a service, people just put it in the same bucket and are willing to pay marginally better. But when you offer a different service, you actually address a different category of individual. That simply means that if your packages, if your services, if your brand does not look like anything else, you are more likely to garner attention, you're more likely to have a conversation, you're more likely to secure a client versus everybody that looks like everybody else or slightly better than everybody else. Different is better than better because it gets attention. And if you can get attention from your clients, you have a greater possibility to start a conversation, get a yes or a no, and move further in your coaching career. And that is the single biggest reason you want to own your full personality in your coaching practice. You don't want to be like somebody else. You don't want to replicate somebody else's brand. You don't want to be even inspired by somebody else's brand. What you really want to do is go within and find what is true for you and only connect with your audience with what's true for you. Because when you do that, people can feel it. People can see your vulnerability. They can experience your vulnerability. They can experience your truth. They can experience your honesty. And they are much more likely to enroll when they experience all of that. And the last principle is the smaller your niche, the bigger your market. Most people think, oh, this is too small a niche. I cannot operate in this niche. There's too few clients in this niche. I cannot operate in this niche. I'm here to tell you one of the biggest secrets that I've learned over time that has helped me make $10,000 and even a lot more money is that the more you go really deep into a niche or a category of individuals, the larger is the market that is available to you to actually enroll. You see, you and I don't need millions of dollars to be able to make $10,000 a month. We need a few clients that are really committed to change for us to be able to generate that kind or any kind of income. And because that is the case, what you need is a smaller market that you can really address, that you can speak their language, that you can speak to them where they feel heard, where they feel acknowledged, they feel recognized. The smaller that market is, the easier would be your language. The smaller that market is, the more connected you will be with individuals within the marketplace. And that will allow you to really lean into being an authority in that space, being somebody who people look up to in that place, people who seek counsel from in that place, people who seek coaches from in that marketplace. So the smaller your niche, all of the market is available to you, and hence it becomes a really big market. Versus the bigger your niche, the smaller the market, because everybody and then some are in that market. You just become like everybody else. Find a tighter niche, a smaller audience, so you can really leverage the big marketplace that is within that smaller niche. But let's be real, you won't ever get to charge what you're worth if you don't believe in your value. There are 5 powerful techniques you can use to coach yourself and boost your confidence, and reveal them in this video. See you there.